Hello everyone and welcome to Drunk Billy. Today we're going to be taking a little VFR flight up the California coast from San Diego up towards Los Angeles and landing at KLAX. We're going to be taking a couple of, we're not going to do a direct over the water, we're going to go over land to Oceanside and Santa Ana before landing in KLAX. I'm going to fly probably about 1,800 feet or so, keep it nice and low. See, no, I don't want 8,500. 1,800 feet. I want a nice low altitude so we can see the ground. We're going to be using the Coronado M20R Ovation. Beautiful, beautiful little plane. In terms of handling, speed, and everything, I think that this is like probably the best overall plane available in Microsoft Flight Simulator at the moment. Yes, it's an add-on plane that you have to pay for, but even with my love of glass cockpits, this plane really, really, really does it for me. I enjoy flying it. It's so fast, it's so nimble, it's great. So let's load this up and I will meet you on the flip side of the load screens on the actual tarmac. So here we are loaded in on the tarmac, ready to go. Let's get some of those outside airport sounds in here while we start up the plane. I did purchase the new San Diego add-on pack, scenery pack for the airport. I actually fly out of San Diego a lot. I like to keep full live weather going at all times, and it's being on the East Coast. By the time I get to fly, it's usually starting to get dark, especially this time of year. So I tend to go towards the West Coast. And San Diego is a great place to start from that can take you all kinds of interesting places. So I figured when this pack came out, I might as well get it, make the airport look good, and it really does look good. So, okay, let's get in here and start this plane. I'm not going to go through full normal, checklist procedures and stuff, but I'm going to do this more or less how you would do it. I'm not going to be using a lot of the on-screen controls because I have some of the Saitek control panels. I have the like the autopilot and the switch panels, so I'll be using a lot of stuff there. This isn't a tutorial on how to fly this plane, although this can teach you a little bit, I'm sure. So we're going to start off with the master selectors. Sure, I guess the Mooney's instructions are to start with all mixtures and everything in full. Pull back the power in a little bit. I'm doing kind of the Cessna thing. Turn on the fuel pump. Sure, parking brakes are on. Fuel tank is selected. So turn the key. Start. Bring it down to about 1,000 RPM to let everything warm up and all the pressures get up. Oops, I should have had my initial set of lights on before starting. Can turn off my fuel pump. Turn on my master avionics. I won't need de-ice or pitot heat today. So okay, let's close up these windows. Nice and silent inside. I'm running in headphone simulation mode, so it's simulating having noise canceling headphones on as a pilot would, so I can hear the radio comms. And let's bring up, hey, where am I on the tarmac today? Okay, over here. I wonder what, so let's see what the HOTAS has to say. There's quite a few people flying out of here today. Apparently the HOTAS doesn't have anything to say today. Try again. Yeah, apparently ATIS isn't working in San Diego today. Oh well. Let's depart north.
Lindbergh ground drunk Billy 1 Charlie Kilo with whiskey request taxi to the active north departure.
Drunk Billy 1 Charlie Kilo taxi to and hold short of runway 9er via taxiway Bravo 8. Contact tower on 118.3 when ready.
Taxi to and hold short runway 9er using taxiway Bravo 8 drunk Billy 1 Charlie Kilo.
All right. So we have our taxi instructions. I do use taxi ribbons because I'm still not very good at finding my way, even with charts around taxiways and stuff on airports. So here, normally I would do, well, I don't usually do the run-ups, but this is where you would do a run-up. Okay, so now we request our takeoff from tower.
Lindbergh Tower drunk Billy 1 Charlie Kilo ready for north departure at runway 9er.
Drunk Billy 1 Charlie Kilo cleared for takeoff runway 9er departure to the north approved.
Cleared for takeoff runway 9er drunk Billy 1 Charlie Kilo.
Okay, I'm going to break this out to another window here, and so I am going to preset my autopilot to 1,800 feet. Vertical speed climb of, let's say, 600, which this plane is more than capable of. Set it to nav mode. And landing lights, and we're good to go. I love the handling of this plane on the ground. I'm having to give it right rudder here to prevent it from pulling too far to the left, but it's very consistent compared to other stock planes. And we rotate. And this thing just loves to fly. Positive rate, gear up. I'm going to do a little flyover of the airport here in a second.
Drunk Billy 1 Charlie Kilo, continue for north departure. I will contact you next when you leave my airspace.
Lindbergh Tower drunk Billy 1 Charlie Kilo continue for north departure.
Flaps up. They really did a nice job on the scenery for the airport. I mean, I don't know how accurate it is, as I've never been here, but I do like it. It looks like a real, genuine airport, which is kind of the point of these add-on packs, rather than the auto-gen scenery. That typically doesn't look very well. Oh, there we go. We have an Airbus landing. Another one taxiing. And click on the autopilot. It's going to take us to our target altitude. Turn off landing taxi lights. That's really a beautiful area. I love flying around here. Yeah, this is a really, really beautiful area. I really like what they did.
Charlie Kilo, you are leaving my airspace. Frequency change approved.
Lindbergh Tower Drunk Billy 1 Charlie Kilo frequency change.
And a little bit of low cloud. Oh, we have a ship over there. Let's go see what this is all about.
SoCal approach Drunk Billy 1 Charlie Kilo is type 5 miles northwest of Lindbergh. Request flight following.
Drunk Billy 1 Charlie Kilo, SoCal approach. Squawk 1446.
Squawk 1446 Drunk Billy 1 Charlie Kilo.
Drunk Billy 1 Charlie Kilo, radar contact 6 miles northwest of Lindbergh, 1,800 feet. Altimeter 29er.
Oh, two ships in the fog. That's kind of cool. I haven't seen much ship traffic.
Drunk Billy 1 Charlie Kilo, please acknowledge.
Oh, yeah. Acknowledge.
Drunk Billy 1 Charlie Kilo.
Drunk Billy 1 Charlie Kilo, contact SoCal approach on 128.1.
128.1 for Drunk Billy 1 Charlie Kilo. SoCal approach Drunk Billy 1 Charlie Kilo 2,000 feet.
Drunk Billy 1 Charlie Kilo, SoCal approach. Continue as planned. Altimeter 29.93. Drunk Billy 1 Charlie Kilo, contact Miramar approach on 133.625.
133.625 Drunk Billy 1 Charlie Kilo. Miramar approach Drunk Billy 1 Charlie Kilo 1,800 feet.
Drunk Billy 1 Charlie Kilo, Miramar approach. Continue as planned. Altimeter 29.93.
Okay, that should be it for a while with radio communications. For the sake of this video, I'm kind of like doing it shorthand and using the just ATC commands to do everything. Typically when I'm flying, I'll do some IFR flying and I'll actually tune radio by hand to the correct frequencies just to add to a level of realism to it. It doesn't auto switch in real life, well, unless you have an co-pilot rather. I guess then it does auto switch for you from your perspective as the pilot. Yeah, I like to fly around and just kind of enjoy the scenery sometimes. It's a nice break from... Oh, that's an interesting building right there. A church, apparently. Very cool. Yeah, that building looks kind of like melted Legos. Oh, and there it's kind of cleaned up now as I got closer to it. Level of detail completely shot up. Weird. Yeah, say what you will about the bugs and issues with this game, but it's still one of the, well, it is still the best looking flight simulator out there, bar none. I'm going to slow down a little bit here. I'm way beyond the normal cruising speed of this plane. There we go. Click on the autopilot, get it on its path again. Beautiful area. Oh. I think it's going to try to go around. I think it missed one of the waypoints. I think we missed the Oceanside waypoint. Bring up the nav map and check. Oh no, it didn't register the extra waypoints from the flight plan. Well, isn't that something? Okay, so we won't do that then. You know what? I think I'm just going to hand fly this. This is such a nice, smooth bird to fly anyway. It's for a half-hour flight. Yeah, this will be fine, hand flying.
Philly, 1 Charlie Kilo contact SoCal approach on 127.3.
127.3 drunk Philly, 1 Charlie Kilo.
Oh, let's check out these cliffs from a lower altitude. Don't want to overstress the plane here. Oh, hit the speed brake. We're going way too fast. See, we actually have a speed brake on this, which is kind of cool. Huh. Very cool landscape. You can see a little bit of artifacting up there where it's trying to stitch water together, and there it's gone. So there are still some irregularities in the graphics of this game, but it's, well, the water has degraded pretty significantly in the last couple of patches, but I trust in the long term that they will be actually truly improving this game. Anyway, I'm going to hand fly this, and I will get back once we get closer to Los Angeles. And then we can go in for our approach and landing. So we're now approaching Los Angeles. You can see there's a lot of low-level cloud here. It started happening at about the Costa Mesa, Huntington Beach area, where we started seeing a lot of this cloud covering the ground everywhere, making it very, very hard to see anything. It does look like the airport up ahead is clear, though, so we should be able to make a nice visual landing there. I was going to resort to an ILS if necessary, but I think we can go manual today. I have to say, still, I'm still always in awe about the graphics of this game, even with its flaws and its issues here and there. And let's see where we are here. We're getting close. Now, apparently, it's not tracing out my GPS line at all. Interesting. Oh, well. I don't need it. I know where I'm going, so. So let's contact Los Angeles and get ourselves our landing.
Los Angeles Tower, Drunk Billy 1 Charlie Kilo is 5 miles southeast with golf to land.
Drunk Billy 1 Charlie Kilo Los Angeles Tower. Make left traffic runway 7 left. Altimeter 29.9 or 2 and com.
All right, 7 left.
Fly left downwind runway 7 left Drunk Billy 1 Charlie Kilo.
Switch on my landing lights. Power down. And start losing some altitude here. And 7 left is right down here. These 2 runways, it'll be the right-hand one. It'll be left when we're coming from the other direction. Speed brakes a bit here and bleed off some speed. Get me down to something a little bit more acceptable. I'm probably way too low here to be flying over an international airport like this. Again, I remind everyone in these videos, I am not a pilot. I know there are far more rules to apply than I do, but I try to a certain extent. Here, put down first stage of flaps. I can maintain a reasonable speed here. I'm a little... I'm a little close here to the runway.
Cleared to land runway 7 left Drunk Billy 1 Charlie Kilo.
Gonna go out a little further this way on my downwind. I'm also a bit low at 1,000 feet. And a little bit more. Second stage of flaps. This is much like a Cessna where you have 3 stages. Watch my altitude. Third stage of flaps, full flaps. Gear down. Trim this out a little. Okay, I'm in landing configuration. Gear down is down and indicating. Flaps all the way down. All lights are on. Let's see if these planes are going to pull out on the runway. Oh, you pain in the ass.
Delta 7 9 or 5 cleared to land runway 24 right. Follow the generic on final. Wind calm. Cleared to land runway 24 right, Delta 7 9 or 5.
Going around drunk Billy 1 Charlie Kilo.
Oh, well, go around it is. It happens. And that really, really sucks because I was coming in just beautifully on that approach.
Delta 430 cleared to land runway 24 right. Number 2 for landing. Follow the generic on final. Wind calm. Delta 7 9 or 5 exit runway when able.
Oh, my landing gear's still down. I should slow down
Cleared
somewhat.
to land runway 24 right, number 2 Delta 430.
Here, I'll put the gear up, which I should have done on go around.
Delta 7 9 or 5 exit runway when able. Drunk Billy 1 Charlie Kilo cleared to land runway 7 left. Wind calm.
Cleared to land runway 7 left drunk Billy 1 Charlie Kilo.
Hopefully second time's a charm.
Delta 7 9 or 5 turn next taxiway. Delta 7 9 or 5 contact ground on ONE 21.65.
I want the threshold here to be about at my 45-degree mark. A little bit more.
Going to 121.65 Delta 7 9 or 5.
Usually I wait till I can see it in the back window. I think this is close enough. Okay. Repeat. Gear down, flaps first stage. Bleed off a little speed with my brake.
Delta 430 exit runway when able.
Second stage of flaps. Okay, base leg over, down for my downwind. Turned a little too quickly there, but that's okay. I can now put my final stage of flaps. Ugh, I'm a bit low here.
Delta 430 exit runway when able.
Get a little bit of altitude here. I'm a little bit low. Speed is very easy to control in this plane with the speed brake on it.
Delta 430 contact ground on ONE 21.75.
I should be able to land here without a go around this time.
Going to ONE 21.75 Delta 430.
And cut power. Flare. Come on. Speed brake. Probably not my best landing, but it'll do. Just let it roll out here.
Drunk Billy 1 Charlie Kilo turn next taxiway. Drunk Billy 1 Charlie Kilo contact ground on 131.85.
There, get past the whole short line, and then I'll get my my taxi instructions. Flaps up, landing lights off.
131.85 Drunk Billy 1 Charlie Kilo. Los Angeles ground Drunk Billy 1 Charlie Kilo request taxi to parking.
Drunk Billy 1 Charlie Kilo taxi to general aviation parking via taxiway Juliet Bravo Sierra Charlie Tango Tango 2 Sierra Delta Delta 9er.
God, these instructions are
Taxi to
terrible.
general aviation parking using taxiway Juliet Bravo Sierra Charlie Tango Tango 2 Sierra Delta Delta 9er Drunk Billy 1 Charlie Kilo.
Although I do have the airport's 10.9 open in Navigraph on my other screen, and this is one of the airports where the instructions that they give you actually match up correctly with the Jeppesen charts. So it does make it a little bit easier. So we're on Juliet, Bravo, turn here on Kilo. Sierra, well, whatever. The way ATC gives instructions for taxiing on the ground in here is just ridiculous. This is why I keep the taxi ribbons on. It's the only assistance that I still use in the game at this point. It's way, 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 way too confusing navigating around these airports otherwise, especially with the bad instructions that they give. LAX does look beautiful, doesn't it? I mean, I've only seen it in pictures. I've never been there, but from the images that I've seen, this is pretty much as close as it gets. Turn off my strobe lights. We've got a way to go before we get to the ramp. Get us a little bit of speed. Oh, speed brakes are on. Turn those off. About 15 knots. We should be fine. Yeah, they're really making me travel here to get to the
Los Angeles ground.
parking.
Friendly 802 requesting pushback. Friendly 802 pushback. Request accepted.
Still, though, I like the sights flying around, looking at the airport activity, all these planes parked here. It kind of sucks that all these general models like that are all A320s.
Requesting the end of pushback.
You'd swear that that's the only plane available in existence.
Los Angeles ground. Friendly 802 with Gulf ready to taxi IFR. Friendly 802 taxi to and hold short of runway 6 left using taxiway Charlie 12 Charlie Romeo Echo Bravo Bravo cross runway 6 right Bravo Bravo. Contact tower on 119er decimal 8 when ready.
Yeah, I wish there were less of these completely orange A320s. And I know there's mods that can put... Jeez. I know there are mods that can add any aftermarket liveries that you have to the AI and third-party planes in here, but I would much rather see proper liveries on most of these planes. It certainly adds to the realism, but I can't really complain. This really looks good. Like, I mean, this really genuinely looks like coming into a real airport. And I'm pretty sure anybody who's been to LAX would probably say that this is a reasonably good representation. And wow, this was a flight where there's no ground personnel standing in my way to my parking spot, which is kind of interesting. Okay, we stop it, parking brake on, lean it out to stall, pull out the prop RPM, turn off the key, all lights go off, Master avionics down, and there we go. And it appears that the log is working this time around. This is another bug that we've encountered quite often where flights don't get logged after you shut down. And it worked this time. Should have been a 33-minute flight. It took 53 minutes, but I kind of took my sweet old time and kind of flew around and checked out the sites, as you can see from some of the montage part in the middle of the video. So yeah, hope you enjoyed your flight with me, and we will catch you again some other time. Cheers, everyone.